I got a healthy tum, dude. Okay, my tum's doing pretty good.
I don't know
okay?
about that.
I beg to differ.
I don't know about that. The way you talk
Mixed
about your tum.
Every other morning. Oh, my tum. Oh.
Tum.
No. Mixed tummy is doing okay, guys. Just so you know.
Everyone was asking.
Welcome back to another episode of Toon Talk TV, the top animated podcast on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/wearethetelevision. Fred, Bob, today's episode is very, very important. I need you guys to learn something from this tune. And it's kind of a new, interesting take on traditional animation. Most of the cartoons that we show, humor, fun, good times, laugh. Not only is this one a funny cartoon, but it's also educational, guys. Educational.
I did learn a little something while watching this. I did.
Well, so this cartoon was by Zee Bashew, I believe, who makes a few videos on YouTube revolving around Dungeons and Dragons mostly, and kind of like, how to do things, what spells mean. But he does them in an animated, funny take, which is hilarious. But jumping off the bat, Fred, what did you think of this cartoon?
So what I thought of it, I thought it was very funny. I did think at first it was like comedy for DMs, like comedy for dungeon masters.
I can see that. I can see that.
Which fits right into Mix Alley, but also it as a D&D player, I thought it was very funny. And then even if you don't play D&D, I think you could find this just as funny. I did have to look something up. I didn't know what TTRPG stands for. Do you guys know what that is? Well, Mick might. Bob, do you know?
I know RPG is role-playing game, but TT, I'm assuming one of those is tabletop RPG.
Yes,
There you go.
Yeah. So the hashtags on this video was TTRPG, not D&D. So I guess what other tabletop role playing? I mean, that was a D&D game.
There's a lot of D&D-ish games that aren't D&D, but if we're being honest, they're all based off of D&D. So anyone who's gonna be a snob about it, I think it first came from D&D. But there's plenty other games that you could follow that aren't exactly D&D.
Like Dune has a game out there, and Pathfinder, and basically any game that you roll dice and maybe do a little role playing for is considered a tabletop role.
Okay, cool.
Even like Munchkin, you know what I mean? Like that's
that would be one as well.
What was cool about this specifically was that it showed both, like they could have just done a straight out animation of the scene that they were playing within the game. But what was funny and about this specifically was the banter that happens in between when creating a role-playing game, like, can I do this? Or no, you can't do it. Or what the outcomes would possibly be of rolling something bad or not.
What I really enjoyed about this one is I think the DM is kind of hardcore. And sometimes you get a nice DM. A lot of the times you get a nice DM that kind of plays into the understanding of, okay, I understand you didn't know how to do that. But this one was just kind of like a balls to the wall, like, no, you fuck up, you're dead.
Yeah.
and I did like that. I like that a lot. Mick, you were telling me about a game this week of like a D&D-ish game that seemed very similar to that. What was the name of that game that you were telling? You showed me a book with a lot of
MÖRK BORG.
Okay,
MÖRK BORG.
I like the idea. So and I mean, you could say more about this, but one of the big things in that game is that you're expected to die quite a few times.
Yes.
And I kind of like the idea of just like, hey, nope, you fucked up. You're dead. Like you didn't know that was a dream. You chose to make that move. You're done. You're done. I love that.
The funny part of this was, one, the animation style I think fit pretty well with the story that they told in this short 4-minute thing. I like how they made the DM like this. He looked like a Vietnam vet type of guy. Like he's seen some things type ordeal. But to Fred's point where he you know, we do all get into this scenario where if one of our party members is in trouble, we're like, I run to help that dude. And I love how he would pause them and be like, wait, why would you? You're in the library reading a book. Why would you go run and help him?
I did like that. The lights turned off, and that's going to be your first move.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
But then he's like, you're on notice, but go ahead. Like, yeah.
Was this just an excuse? Was this talk right here just an excuse to talk about D&D?
It always is.
It
always
is.
is.
It always is.
Which,
You got
okay.
me.
It's
You got
okay,
me.
which I like doing, you know.
I think I like scouring YouTube now for people who try to incorporate their games. So much like the Dungeon Soup, who we've done a tune for before. Critical Role does it all the time. But I just find it interesting on the stories that people are telling at tables. I feel like that's a good way to get ideas and of that sort.
I also like the way that this animation was done out because it's more like there's a narrator and there's action happening and they don't necessarily have to mix, which is perfect for tabletop role-playing games is someone can tell us like what's happening and narrating a story while you can animate over that. You could animate the story and it's just a cool storytelling way, you know?
To go along with that, I thought that was great how he like the DM's head pops into scene when he says that spiel that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's a great use of animation and just like a great use of style of getting into that world, like of breaking a fourth wall.
And I think the lesson here was kind of just showing people who may be new to D&D or tabletop role playing. It is titled Metagaming at Larry's Table. And for those of you watching, metagaming is kind of where you, the person playing the game, knows more information than the character actually playing the game. Leave a comment if you are a fan of metagaming, because I sometimes am. I want my guy to be super powerful and basically godlike while he's playing.
Doesn't everyone, you know? I feel.
But no, I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I'm going to check out more tunes from here. We'll link all the stuff in the description below. Final thoughts, guys. Yes or no? Was this
cool
a good
pick.
one?
Very cool pick. I did. Yeah, I'll definitely subscribe. Yeah.
Interesting pick.
Cool. Again, be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/wearethetelevision. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
We are the television.